Good morning, Hit Nation, folks, so cats, and everything in between beyond. My name is Roy, the host of My Happiness, and the host of these Penny Quickies. Now, I'm going to call it Penny Quickies because of the fact that this is going to be a post game against the Bulls and then a pre-game against the 76ers. I apologize. I am on some little bit of medication, and it does make me a little bit slurry, but I hope I can get through this without many snafus. So, part one. Miami Heat, their win against the Chicago Bulls, which, by the way, I hear people say they said, that Chicago is has asked the team of the Miami Bulls, oh my God, of the Chicago Bulls to be to move to Rhode Island, therefore be called the Rhode Island Bulls. But Adam Silver is still considering those options as per Champs Charania. In any case, against the Bulls, an amazing victory that is going to stay for generations. We're going to remember this very, very fondly. 143-107. We had Pelle Larson with an animalistic plus minus of plus 39. Bam Adebayo, animalistic plus minus of 24. Simone Fontecchio with an animalistic plus and minus of plus 24. 25, sorry. Keshad Johnson, no words, 24 plus minus. And then Drew Smith, also no words, with 27 plus minus. Everybody ended with plus except for the scrubs that came in the end of the game. But of course, we had a few things to note, and the most important one, I think, is Khalil Weir. Not because Kashad Johnson is not a great story. Kashad Johnson is an amazing story, potentially uh, a good pick to have an undrafted player like Rashad Johnson playing for us. I'm not sure though. He's got to be consistent. He's got to do not what he did last time, but he's got to do more. And I think that every single time that I've seen him play, he does something. Last time around for what, a couple minutes, and then he already had a block. This time he had two blocks. Kashad Johnson, but no, Khalil Weir is the one with an amazing game again, with 20 points, being the highest scoring player, 14 rebounds, only one assist, but two steals, one block, one turnover. Pilla Larson with 16 points, Bam Adebayo with 18 points, Norman Powell with 19 points, Davion Mitchell with 16 points, Jaime Jaquez with 10 points, Simon Fonseca with 9, but that's not the point. The point is Keisha Johnson with 14 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double. Amazing, amazing. And Drew Smith with 12 points, basically two turnovers. So I don't know exactly where that, but yeah, again, uh, the field goal percentage also stands out a lot. 80% to Pelle Larson, 77.8 to Davion Mitchell. And those people shot 4 out of 5 for Pelle Larson and 7 out of 9 for Davion Mitchell. So it was a game where not only we played well, but they didn't play so well. I think that ever since they got Getty, the team was supposed to be going on the right direction. They did have a few injuries. Most of the people that are questionable came back to play. Of course, not Kobe White. I was more concerned offensively of Josh Giddey, Kobe White, and Herder. Ended up being that Herder was also expelled, and that Giddey, you know, did not play. I mean, certainly not throughout most of the game to his level, and we played amazingly well. So really taking credits from them is as important as giving credits to us in such a blowout. And I love the fact that in the NBA Cup, the games are so short, so that point differential as a tiebreaker actually works for excitement because then players are actually playing even being up by 40 points. They're still trying to get as many points as possible, and we are 2-1 in NBA Cup with a 46-point differential. So that's it for Miami Heat against the Bulls at away. Now we have the second of two games away on the road. To have two games on the road is a very short stint. Then we come back to play tomorrow. Tomorrow, which by the way could be the day, as per Shams, that Shams, the Shams, the real one, as per Shams, that Hero could come back and play tomorrow. So there is just no question about that. There is a chance, and I think that that is something to look forward to. Now, whereas the Miami Heat is first in two categories in the NBA and high up in a few other categories, such as defensive rating, we're number three. Um, 3 points attempted per game. We're number four. Assists were number one. points for number one. However, when it comes to in rebounds, we move from 16th to 12th. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are 9-6 general, sixth in the East. We are fifth in the East at 10-6. They are 15th in points per game with 118.4. They are 17th in rebounds per game at 44.5. They are 20th at assists per game with 25.9. And they are 16th in opponents points allowed per game at 106.1. Our opponent's points per game allowed is on the 20th mark. So we allow more points. However, we're number one in pace. They are number 23 in pace. The only higher analytic stats that they appear in top five is blocks. They're number one in blocks per game. So it's going to be an interesting game. In the injury report, there isn't really anything that much relevant. Of course, we already know about Embiid. We already know about Uber Jr. We already know about the people that are not going to play. For us, it's going to include Nikola Jovic this time. Nikola Jovic was not present last game. So Nikola Jovic, Andrew Wiggins, and Tyler Hero are not playing. They're ruled out. I saw Bam Adebayo was still day today. Not sure what they're going to do about that. But can we keep winning? We have a 4-1 in the last games, in the last 5 games, but only because we're 5-1 in the last 6, which means we won 4 out of the last 4 games. Can we make it to 5? Can we continue to be hot against a very interesting 76ers that surprised us for how poorly they played last season and are actually surprising some people for how well they're playing this season with all of their challenges, because we know the 76ers are facing their challenges. It seems like our biggest, largest goals are behind us. What's going to be in the end, toward the end or toward the trade deadline? Like I said, probably a backup big, as people are saying, is going to be an important thing. We have a lot of guards, so probably a backup big is going to be an important part. Somebody that can, grab rebounds when coming off the bench is being the most important, probably the most important part of the job. Soft trades, and I'm going to discuss those here. I don't think that's important. The most important thing for me is, what are my expectations? What my expectations are, I don't expect, but I hope that we can keep on winning. It is certainly possible. It is certainly, I'm not going to say likely. I don't think that we are favorites. I don't like when people see us as favorites. I think that we have a team that hasn't yet seen how Hero looks like with them. So we can't say that we miss Hero. Jovic hasn't yet played to the expectations as Khalil Weir did when called out. So I think that we're not missing anyone that important to the current game plan as much as we're missing Wiggins, right? Out of the 3, as much as we're missing Wiggins. But I bet you, or I would bet you, that Hero coming back is going to be a problem, and he might be back tomorrow against Dallas, especially because it's a back-to-back. So we don't, pretty sure that some players are going to make it, some players are not going to make it. Regardless, this is it for me. I'm not going to add any more. Hope to win. Hope that we can continue, being as hot as the Heat is. And you yourselves have a lovely day. It's going to be a lunch hour game at 1 p.m. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be hopefully enjoying the game. I had a lot of fun last game, even though it was a blowout. Still had a lot of fun last game. I don't necessarily like blowouts, but still have fun. Not to, yeah, for us, maybe. Let's go. Let's go. Be happy, be safe, be dry, and let's go Heat.